Thanks for joining me. Got a problem with the E91. This is the 318 diesel, which doesn't really matter because rear suspension on these is pretty much all the same across the whole range. What we've got is rear shock absorber, went with a bang, and the back end of the car was like giving it all really wobbly, not very good. This driver's side has corroded through at the bottom, and then the oil has dropped, and now the wheel, when you're driving down the road, is bouncing all over the place. You can see it just, yeah, it looks a little bit strange. I'll show you a close-up of it. It's not too bad a job to do this. There are a couple of little tricky bits. The hardest bit is going to be removing the interior trim. We've got to take out both side panels in the back to get at the top mountings on those shock absorbers. So let's crack on, enough yapping, and let's rip this thing to bits. Right, first things first, let's get rid of the this top thing. You press the two tabs, one either side, and pull the load cover out. Let's get rid of that. We'll then kick the seats forward, so we're just releasing the little tabs at the top there. Let's have them out the way. We'll then get this base up. We'll have that out of the way as well. Right, next bit is going to be to get rid of this interior tray here. I've got one broken clip there. That one looks like it wants to come out. It's jumped out already. But to get these up, we just literally use a screwdriver or a pair of grabbers. Just get underneath it and pop them out. I'll do that one as well. Just pop these clips out. The centre bit pulls up and then the outer comes through. Once we're out with those, this whole tray will come out now. We've started with this, so hopefully we can just make sure that's going to lift out the way and not cause any problems. Yeah, that'll be good. We can pop them down, have that out. So what I've got here is my Milwaukee bit box with all the different bits in it. I put a link in the description for this. Ratchet screwdriver, a dinky little ratchet screwdriver. Let's go for this panel. Let's see if we can't get it off. Right, so on this panel we've got one clip at the bottom there, which is just the same as what we did before. We just screwdriver in, lift the top up, pop that one out. We've got a screw just here, a little Torx bit. We've got two Torx bits going down the top there. We've got to get this big bolt out of there. So let's start taking those out. This top trim here, we just prise it and pop it up. This is literally clipped in from the top. It's tight, but it will come out with a bit of persuasion. TX20, that one. TX25 for these up here. This one. They're a funny looking bolt, look. So there's two of those. There we go, there it is. That's becoming loose there. Got to get rid of this little clip here. So we've got this little piece here, which is a case of getting the screwdriver in, popping it in there and just popping that out like that. Once that's out, we should be able to then just lift this away. And that's that out of there. We've then got this big sucker down here, which is going to be a pretty big one. That one there, which is the TX40. Let's see if I can crack it with my screwdriver. I might need to get a ratchet on it. We'll see how tight it is. Oh no, it's nice and loose. That weren't bad. And then that's that one away. Oh, then we are now looking like this is all coming away like it should. We've just got this top bit, which is going to be a bit of a pain. So what I've got is just like a fat trim tool or something similar, hoping that we'll be able to get it in there and give us a little bit of help. Tricky little thing, this. Just trying to get the tool in, trying to find where the clips are underneath. But they are well tucked away, so it's really hard to get at them. Slipping off there, look, nearly gashed myself. But eventually I can get that tool in. Bit of perseverance. That's one of them clipped out. And there's going to be one in the middle up there. Another one's got two. A little wiggly do. I feel I'm getting there. It's nearly gone. There's just a couple of stubborn ones that are just really tight. But all you can do is just keep going at it. Persevere with it. It's going to go. It's going to come off. There he goes. How's that back edge is coming up? It's flexing well, but it's going. One final shove. Come on. Another one. What's left holding it now? I think this has to go down as the trickiest bit of the whole job, getting these two trims out. The rest of it you can sort of work your way around and you can see what's in front of you, but these two trims, this one and one on the other side, you're going blind at it. It's a real pain. But they will come off. We're nearly there, look. Very close. This one just down the back there. Can feel something down here. Just being a bit stubborn. Bang, there we go. I wanted to leave that running so you could see the whole job and how fiddly it was. I didn't want to cut that out and make it look easy. But you can see now how we've done that. That's enough there. I have, looking at that, yeah, that one has broken off there, look on the top. But it is a suicide clip. So, you know, there's not a lot you're going to do about it, because it's once it's in. And if it don't want to come out, it don't want to come out. Now, could I have lifted that forward and maybe got at those and squeezed them to get them out? Let's have a look at it. Maybe I could. I'll have a better go on the other side, won't we? It is a real suicide clip. Even if I'm getting my hand in there, I'm still struggling to release it. But as far as that goes, that now is up enough to get this trim off, which is good. So I don't need to take it off that last clip there. I could leave that in, and we can just now go with, we'll have that one out of there. Like that. And then we've got screw in the top there. Just in, you can see that on there. TX20. Just a normal screw out the top. And now we're looking like we're away. With that, I think we are pretty much going. I should now come away if I get this bottom trim up. Lift that up there now. Lift that up there a bit. Here it comes. We've got the wire to the cigarette lighter, or auxiliary socket there. Just pull that off the back, give it a little wiggle. Grab that off there, and that is away. That's that trim out of there. And this now reveals the bit that we're after, which is this blanking cover here. Just pull that off, and there's the top mounting. Right, let's just see about this clip here, see if I can't just get that out of there. And we can have a good look at it and see, could we have done anything better to stop it from breaking when we were trying to pull it out. There it is, look, it's up. You see how brittle it is? I'll glue that back on again. I'm not going to replace the trim, but it's like a double, it's a double kind of suicide clip thing there. Push one side, push the other to release it. I'm wondering if I can remove the mounter and then get in on the other side and try it. We'll give that a go. But I'll glue that back on there with some super glue, and it'll hold it for a refit. So we'll try and do a better job on this side. I'll try and get that. I don't want to break this one as well. But if it does, it does. It's just one of those. Plastic trims are a nightmare. These things happen, you know, don't get stressed about it. It's just one of those. Let's start with trying to take this out. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going with that first. So in there, we've got us one there and one behind it. Again, I'll drop the link in the description to the ratchet screwdriver. There's a really good one on Amazon, and I'll pop the link in there for you if you want one. Makes light work of these tight and, you know, difficult to get to screws. Of course, you can use the bit box with them as well. Fantastic. Two. So let me just try and lever that up a little bit, just to see if we can. Oh, see, something's gone already on this side. I don't think you can, because that actually sits within that. It's recessed into it, so I don't think there's a way of really releasing that without lifting it. It's just one of those. There's not a lot you can do with it to stop it from breaking. You can see it flexing on the top there as you're trying to prise it up. Lovely to get that out there before. If I could just get that out, be able to get my hand in and manipulate it a little bit, but then I don't want to break this by twisting it too much. Oh, I think that's gone, that one this time. I think it has. I think that middle one has popped out. Good. So we might have just done this one. Hopefully. I don't think I need to go much further than just taking a little bit. Oh, there we go. Oh, this one's broke as well. So same thing again, it's just snapped off. It's one of those. Another one that's got to be glued. It's very brittle, like you say. We didn't really give that a massive amount of yanking, and it's just cracked off. See how tight that is, they're prising it out with the pliers. There it is again, look. We'll glue that one again, same as the other side. Let's have that out of the way. Got the little tab there to come out. Again, screwdriver and just prise that apart. In the middle there. Fold that down and then we'll pop that out. Okay, this side we're going to release with these twisted. These are like screwdriver tabs here. That just lifts out, twist and pull down. That's that whole panel out there. Got your emergency fuel release there, look, for the fuel flap, if you ever needed it. And the smaller screwdriver, TX20. We can do the top screw there. that one. On this side there's one in there as well. There it is, that's that one. I've got another clip there. That one out. And we'll get rid of that big TX40. Let's pop that out as well. Get rid of that one. Lift that up now and just pop that away. Yep, pull that out like that, and that's that done. And we're away with that one. Now, just noting, these rubber grommets here point to the outside. The arrow points outwards on both sides. So let's have that one up as well. There's his mounting for that side. So there we go. Other than those, I knew I was going to have trouble with them. Just one of those things. I'll glue them back down again. Job done. No problem. No great shakes. And we can now get at these bolts. So let's get the car up in the air. We'll jack it up on that jacking point there underneath the sill. We'll get the safety latch down as well. Ready to whip this wheel off. Get the old Milwaukee nut gun on there. Again, links in the description. Great bit of kit. Oh, she's tight, look. She's tight. That wheel's absolutely solid, seized on. You see that corrosion where the aluminium wheel sticks to the hub there. That's why it was a bit tight getting it off. But now we're off, we can see what's going on in here. So here's the shock absorber. You see it's leaking. That's where it goes through into the top of the body there. We'll swap all this over, but this is where it's gone at the bottom there. It's actually corroded through. We need to get an axle stand support in the back so we can use the jack to take the weight off the rear arm. So I'll just put an axle stand under there. We'll get that up right underneath this rear mounting, like that, and then we can drop the car down onto that. That'll free us up a bit of like that. Now we've got the jack to take the weight off the bottom arm. Under here, 17mm nut that we're going to undo. I'll get my ratchet on that, and we'll just try and see how the whole thing is trying to twist there. It's making the hole. I don't think it's gone. There it is. That's that one out. This one's nice because it's got loads of leaky oil on it, so it's probably helped the cause to get it off. I put some lubricant on the other side because that one's not leaking. My favourite spray for this is the Worth Rostov Pro Plus. It's great. It is brilliant. So I'll squirt that one. I'll get some of that on there before we start, just to make it nice and slippery slider. So we are inside. This is it's a 16mm. So we'll crack that off. There you go, that's come off nice and easy, look. And that whole piece comes out there. Now we've got to get this shock absorber up through the little mounting. These can be a little bit tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the jack and I'm just going to put a socket on it and push it through. So what I've just got a little extension socket, a little 6mm, and I'll drop that onto the bottom of that, like that, and then put the jack on it, and jack through it, and it should easily then just push that through You should just push that straight through the middle of that mounting. There it goes, look, bingo. So it's saved all that sort of struggling. It's just pushed that through nicely. I could lower that down now. Put that off of there. And you can now see this shock absorber with a bit of luck. I should be able to just grab hold of that and lift it now. There we go, look. And that's out of its mounting there. And the same with the top, I should be able to just drop that out the top. So that we should just pull down, and then the whole thing comes out like that. Beautiful. So I've gone for these are the replacement ones, these are sacks. That's the part number there, if you can see that. Really good quality. It's, like I say, it's what was fitted originally to the car. BMW used this manufacturer to make their suspension parts. Let's whiz that out of there. We've got to swap some bits over on it. That's the new one. You can see it's almost the same, just a slightly different length. This has got pressure within it, so this is going to be harder to fit. It's going to take a bit of pressing, but not a problem. We've got a new nut on the bottom there, look. So we can whiz that off, we'll use that. And we've got to swap this casing over on the top. This is a 5.5mm Allen key on the top there. So if I grab hold of that, hopefully I can free that. Yeah, there we go, look. Just work that off. And I'll just keep turning it. Perhaps put a bit of rust off down it as well. Or just give it a good whack with the old water pump pliers. It's moving, look. Be better off with a hammer, I think. I was thinking about coming off, but it's objecting a little bit. Just give that a little squirt down the top. Got a big, nice copper hide hammer there. So let's just hold that and see if we can't get this to work its way down. That's that out, first bit. Still don't want to come out, so let's go again. That's the next bit out. Nearly there. There we go, that's out of there. Lovely. And you can see how corroded that is. The top's damaged, the bottom's damaged. Look at the rust, how rusty it is around the base there, look. So out with that one, we want rid of that. We've got a nice new one here. And I'll slip that over that, just making sure there's no crud in there. That's all nice and clean inside. So I can drop that over the new one. Slide that on there, ready for reinstallation. Okay, so what we can do with this is squeeze it. We can squeeze it up, putting some pressure on it, fully get it down as far as you can. And then drop it in. We'll try and keep the pressure on it just as we lower it in. So we'll drop the bottom one in there. And then the top one, we push that across and just let it go back up at its own pace there, look. Just let that go back up into position, like so. And we can get his nuts back on. So there we go, we can get the top nut now, drop that back on there. Twaz that back up. We might have to just hold the leg as we're doing it up. We have got the little Allen key, so we can use a spanner and an Allen key on the top there. We're struggling. Okay, so we'll get the spanner on there, and then we've got the, we can put the ratchet on the top there just to hold that in place, and then we can do that up like that. Then we know we've got it nice and tight, like that. Bingo, first one. That cap can go back on. Remember what we said about the arrow pointing to the outside of the cart? We've got his new nut to slip up there onto the bottom of the new shocker. We'll get that started by hand, like that. And then we can waz that up with the ratchet. Yeah, that's turning. We can hold that now with the hand. Is it? And make sure that's up nice and tight. Just finish it off. Yeah. One more. Oh, there we go. That's up nice and tight. One side done. We can jack that back up and get the axle stand out, put the wheel back on. So we'll get it up in the air, pull the stand out. Now I've got to clean up this hub because of all that corrosion from the alloy wheel up against that centre there. The centre board's got all that white corrosion on it. So I'll scrub it with a wire brush. I've got a little bit of corrosion around now, just give this a quick so I'll give this a blasting with a Milwaukee polisher sander. Got the old grit face on it. Really does a good job. Gets that horrible rusty surface away, look at it breaking that down. I have got a video on this, a review, fantastic bit of kit. I'll put a link in the description again though. Makes absolute mint to me to that. Beautiful. Better? I'll do the same with the back of the wheel there, we'll just give that a whiz. Get it up nice and clean. Back on now. We could just whiz those wheel nuts back up again. Get those up nice and tight. And that's one side done. So let's pop round the other side. Same again, let's go for it. We're going to go this one pretty quick. I'm going to try and skip through some of it. Just show you the tricky bits, like getting the wheel off. Another one stuck on, look, give it a kick. And you get it off. There we go. So if I'm struggling, all I've got here is I've got a nice long knuckle bar with a ratchet head on it, which is fantastic. Then I'll put my 17 socket on the end of that, an adapter. And then we'll have a bash at this and see if we can't shift it. She's tight. Oh, okay. There it goes. Just needed that extra bit of torque, didn't it? Let's get the lucky on it. So I can sort of shift it now. Yeah, there we go. That's that one off. So I've got my 16 spanner, my 5.5
socket on the end of it. I keep saying Allen key on the tops of these, but they are sockets.
I can hold that while I try and turn that with that. Right, so once it's started, we should be able to. There we go. Whiz that off. That's that one out. Put that on the bottom of the socket there, like that. And get the jack on that. And hopefully that should go through in a minute. There it goes. Bingo, look. Beautiful. Okay, drop that back down again. There we go, look. Beautiful. There we go, look. It made all that difference, and there's the other one.
And we'll just knock it through like we did the other one, using the copper hide hammer. Just give it a good whack on the top there. It should go in a minute once it starts to move. It's the corrosion that stops it.
What's that off of there? Look at the corrosion on the top of that. Yeah, that's knackered. Set that cover off there as well, and you can see how corroded the top of that is. That one's ready to let go as well. So it's not far off the other side. Through there like that. Push that down, get the top one in. Oh, that's that one up tight.
And we'll do the same with the top one. And move that one back down again.
And we'll finish that off again with a spanner. That's that one nice and tight. And we can drop the cover back on, arrow pointing up. Lovely.
Drop the wheel back on. Same again, I've cleaned this one up as well. We'll stick that back on nice and tight. We can get this one on the deck as well, so we'll pull the axle stand out and drop it down. Lovely.
Okay, let's start to put this back together again. Need to slip this in behind that trim there, and in behind the seat. Just like that. We'll reconnect up the cigarette lighter power socket, just push that back on again. And tuck that in, make sure that's all back in where it needs to be like that. There's a latch at the top there, which we've got to drop in. There's a nice big bolt to go through this retainer here. That back up. That's that one in. And we've got this little top trim there as well. That just pops in, that tucks under the top there. Feed that in. So just take it to the top first, push it up, get those little tabs in the back there. And clip that down, and that locks it all into place. Is that one not in there? I don't think that wasn't quite in there. There it is. And clip that back in, and that holds that all in there. And we'll try and locate these two. We'll get these started.
We'll just whiz these down again using that little screwdriver. Try and get it a little bit fiddly to locate them, but when you get them started, they soon go in. It's a bit odd because you can't get your head up there to see where they're going.
They're both started. there's little pop clips going there as well. Like that.
I've got this little screw down the top there. If you forget these, you've got to take that top trim off again.
Like that.
And this one at the back here, another screw going in.
So I'm going to do that, I'm going to pop that back in, glue it, and then snap it all back down again, I think. Here we go, let's give this a go, see if we can't get it to stick. Drop a little bit of little glue on there.
Don't squeeze it too hard, you'll get it all over your hand.
That was a fail, wasn't it? Stick to everything now. Get that up there, stick that back in again.
Well, just give it a bash with your hand, just get it lined up and give it a bosh. It goes back on so much easier than what it comes off, that's for sure.
There we go. And we can do M2 at the back.
Yeah, we'll just get those down nice and tight now. They were almost all the way down, but so we'll just finish them off.
Two. And drop that back in. Well, super, that's one bit done. Again, we'll lift that up, get that to slot in. Just tuck that in under the seat to start with. Like that. Fold that around. Get that into place there like that. Push clip in first. Put that back in again. Back in. Like so, that's that one in. Drop that back in again. Screw that down. Right. Now this side, I'm not going to glue it. I'm not sure if the glue's enough to hold it, but I'm going to try it with that and see if it rattles, because it feels quite solid when it goes down, and that's that centre clip. So let's give it a go and see what happens.
God, I only want to think of living near an airport. We've had planes, helicopters, and God knows what are flying over today. And I think the nearest airport is about 15 miles away. This goes down quite nicely.
We'll see. We'll try it and see. If it rattles, I can always take it off and glue it. Well, let's get this screw in here. Screw. It's not bad, is it? It's not bad. I think I can drop this panel back in here. There's clips down there. There's floor panel going in. So those two there go through. That and that. Oh man. I forgot that one up there. Oh, yeah. There we are. I forgot that push foot one up there. In me haste. I was that excited about getting that getting that screw in. I forgot to put that one in there, look. There we go. Ah. Okay, now we're getting there. Let's get these back through here. There it is. That's one. 2, 3, and then last but not least, that one there. 4. That back in there. The last bit is just dropping that in. Does it still fit? That's the question. It does. Net up and drop the back seats up. So there we go. Loads better. It's not bouncing all over the place. Nice and direct. Job done. So all the parts and tools that I've used, I'll put links in the description for the Amazon shop, so you can have a look there and get anything you need. It'll all be there. We've now done the complete job, so you can see exactly what the job is. Don't forget to put those screws in that I missed out, that I've had to take the trim back up to put in. It's just one of those, isn't it? We all do it. Well, I do anyway. If you've enjoyed the video, drop me a little thumbs up, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.